Yeah.
Man, what's going on with our 1400? They talk about tapping on the $20 bill and all that. I'm trying to. Don't make that your first order. I'm trying to get this
he
14.
he working on it. He working on it.
Really?
Yeah. He working on it.
I ain't hear you talking about the student loans either.
He did. He was talking about the student loans too. But I know another form of pandemic relief that I read about is him as in President Biden proposing that people with children under 6 get 300 a month for at least the next year, and kids 6 to 17 250 a month for at least the next year. That's one of the proposed one of the things is put out there. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I mean,
That would be nice.
even with the 1400, that's still not enough. People should have been getting something every month. People should have been getting something.
And that's the whole thing about it. But people with money, they don't look at it like that. Like, you know what I mean? They talking about 1400. We got to make sure it goes to the people who need it. We all fucking need it. What do you mean? Like, we all need it. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's the thing. They be trying to filter too much. Just
yeah. If money is not a problem of yours, you're not going to see that money is the problem for anybody else, because it's not your problem.
Right.
So it's going to be hard for you to know that, and especially if money never was an issue for you ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, money was never an issue for you. You
really don't
was
know
born.
No, I do agree with the income limits though. With them saying people who make 75,000 or more shouldn't get it.
Right.
I agree with stuff like that, but
yes. I mean, hell, if I was making $75,000 or more, I wouldn't need it. So I wouldn't. Yeah. It would be a non-issue to me. Like, you know what I mean? It would be a non-issue to me.
You can't say you wouldn't need it. Because there's some people who make $75,000 and still don't know how to manage their money right.
So they don't need it. They need money management classes.
Yeah. If I made $75,000, $1,400 would be the least of my worries. Like, I wouldn't even. Why would I even think twice about that?
Because that could be a mortgage payment.
I got a mortgage. I'm handling my mortgage with this 75,000.
But it ain't like, but your 75,000 might not be 75,000 during the pandemic.
Why not? Well, why not?
I mean,
your job could have been one of the ones that was affected by the pandemic.
So then you don't make 75,000 no more.
Yeah, you don't.
But it goes by your tax return. Don't it go by your tax return?
I don't know. Do it?
It go by your tax return.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
But then, even if it do go by your tax return, this 1,400 go. It wouldn't go by your 2020 tax return, or not?
I would think it still go by the thing since
the 2019.
Yeah, because some people might not. What is it? You got until like April to file for your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
April 15th, I believe, is usually the cutoff.
I think it would still go off of 2019 then.
But being that we're in a pandemic, they might do it how they did it last year and extend it. But typically, it's like around April 15th.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Because I know. Because even when I made a lot of money, it wasn't like my life changed. It was like I didn't know how to manage my money, so it was still living almost down there paycheck to paycheck. But I made over $110,000. But I could have still used 1,400. I'm just saying.
No, you need a budget and money.
But there's people that make under 30 a year that can't manage money. They're gonna go blow to 1,400. So what's we really saying?
What we're saying is the person who makes 30,000 needs the 1,400.
Do they? They're just gonna blow it. There's people that's blowing it on
Jordans. Than $1,400 if they need that.
There's people blowing it on Jordans and stuff.
You got bigger problems than $1,400.
I'm just saying, if $1,400 can help anybody, it could go towards anything that's
I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about the need for it. I wouldn't be in dire need for it. There's people that is in dire need for it. If I was making $75,000 a year, I wouldn't be in dire need for $1,400. Like I just wouldn't be.
I mean, and I'm not even going to sit up here and front. I'm not in dire need for 1,400, but I could use it.
That's what I
But
say.
there's
I
some
think
people
we all
that's
could.
in dire need for
Yeah,
that
there
shit
is.
and Ben needed it. Like, and
Well,
Ben needed it. And
right.
it's
And
$1,400. We're acting like that's going, put somebody like in the
I
next
mean,
tax bracket or some shit. Like, it's
right.
1,400.
But what I'm saying, I don't make 75,000 because
Right.
so when they give it to, so with him saying you still need 75 with making 75,000 and you still need the money, no.
No.
I mean, you don't know. Everybody has different situations. You can't say just because somebody makes $75,000 that $75,000 ain't broke up into a way that where you really still living like grounded. So you can't say the
Oh, well,
$1,400
whoever is doing their taxes and
could
shit,
be
they need to
far
they
payday
need to hire somebody else to
or
do
you
And
their
what
could
they
be
got
taxes.
a gang? What they got a gang of kids and $1 million coming out of your paycheck and child support each month? Like, what is going on?
there could be anything going on.
Man, those people are far and few between, I think.
I know.
I
Tommy likes
don't.
Tommy
I
likes to
just
give
think y'all.
examples of
I
exception
just
and not
think
the
that
rule.
We
I
know that
don't.
$1,400 is for the people who don't got and people who that's in dire need. So that's why we're like,
But that's subjective.
hand that
That's what I'm
over.
saying. So the way I look at it, like you're basically playing God by who's getting the 1,400
It's
or not.
not subjective.
It is
You
subjective
do
for you
if
to
you make
say that somebody
75,000
making
a year, you do
$75,000
not
don't
need
need $1,400.
$1,400.
How that's you can't say that that's true though. You really can't say that that's true. I look at it as because
I can't say it's true because if you make 75,000 a year, you got money management issues. If you're in dire need for $1,400.
so if I make $30,000 and I can have the same financial issues that making $30,000 a year. I might spend the 1,400 on Jordans instead of it going to what it really need to go to.
That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's going to do what they need to, like different things. So just because somebody needs the money, don't mean they're going to do the right thing with the money anyway.
That wasn't what we were talking about.
Yeah, like no,
The
no.
person, the person with the $75,000 might actually use it for something that might be more meaningful than the person that's making $30,000.
Okay, well then go use your own $1,400 with your $75,000 income. Use that $1,400. You got it. You got it.
I just don't think that's fair. That's just me.
How is it not? So you thinking everybody, regardless of what you make, should get the $1,400?
Yeah, I think there shouldn't be no filter. I think we all should get it.
So Jeff should get the $1,400.
I'm
Yeah, but
just
Jeff
saying that.
Bezos
listen,
should get the $1,400. The CEO of Walmart should get the $1,400.
but I also think that they should get
Mark
taxed.
Zuckerberg, he can use the $1,400.
Right,
Fuck at it. No, no.
but that's not $75,000. Now we're
But
just
I'm
saying.
just saying, people on that level, like, because you just said
I'm just
everybody
saying.
needs.
A $75,000 person can live right across the street from you. Jeff Bezos ain't living across the street from you. Like
Well, I'm
somebody that
just
makes
saying.
$75,000 is still a common person to me.
Well, I mean, we're not saying that they're not a common person.
So what
No.
makes you think that somebody that's a common person wouldn't need $1,400?
Because
We
the
all
person
out here
who's making
struggling.
30,000 is making well underneath the median income for in the United States. The
I
median
didn't say
income
that
is
they don't deserve it.
wait, the median income is like 60 something thousand. So the person making 75,000, you're making over average what the average household in America makes. you should
So
not.
you're not even average. So that means you're not even average, which puts you in a whole different tax bracket, which puts you that you don't need that
Well, first
$1,400.
of all, everybody knows that the value of the dollar ain't really a dollar. So $75,000 ain't that much money. So for us to be sitting here thinking that somebody that makes $75,000 is just good is totally farce. That's not true. It's not.
I'm just saying that they are not in need of the $1,400 like I am.
I I ain't saying that they are, but who's to say that they're not? Like that's subjective. That's how I look at it.
They're not.
Their
They're not.
tax bracket is telling their tax bracket is saying that's who's telling us that they're not. That's who's telling us that they're not. Their tax bracket. Because I'm not going like that. Just I mean, it's $1,400. Like it's $1,400. Like that shit is it's crazy. It's crazy.
But one thing that I can say is I do feel like people who are making 30,000 and people who are making 75,000 all across the board, everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but the majority of people probably do need classes on how to manage their money. They do. But
Right.
the person who's making $30,000 a year, they, especially if they got kids, that's not really like you squeaking by. Like
That $30,000 a year is paycheck to paycheck. Period.
and then even if when you get to 30 to 35,000, depending on how many kids you got, you're not even eligible for any assistance or anything. So that really kills you. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It's different for everybody. I understand what Tavi's saying. His point is different for everybody. I get that. But I just think that if you're in a higher tax bracket, then maybe you really do not need the $1,400. But that's just my opinion.
I just think two things.
Even if you got it, then maybe they would give it to charity. I'm charity. I would take the $1,400 off of their hand.
But because you figure it out, somebody might have themselves in a bad banking mortgage plan, school student loans. Like you could be paying a lot of stuff trying to, with that $75,000. So that 1,400 could help you with some of those bills or a bill. Like it might not be the reason why you get kicked out or put out of your house or something like that, but I feel like that somebody making 75,000 can use it in a way.
Or you could look at it from a standpoint of um like somebody, like people like that's $600. Yeah, give it to me. It's not gonna pay my rent or whatever or mortgage or whatever. That it's not. It's just not. But give it to me and I'll do whatever I want with it. But I mean, whatever I
Just a
can't
little
say.
extra. Just a little extra.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Keep you
It,
talking, keep you
it'd be
stop you
nice to
from
go
talking bad
take the
or
kids to go eat and bowling in the same night with that 1,400. Maybe we could go for some ice cream after if we got some change left.
after they give us that 1,400, they gonna tell us to shut up.
For the
That's the thing that was going that's the thing that makes me mad because the 1,400 still
It
when
ain't
you think
crap.
about the state that a lot of people are in with first of all, a lot of people were probably barely making ends meet before the pandemic, and then for this to hit and be struggling with rent and bills and being at home with kids doing virtual schooling and losing jobs or whatever, like y'all should have been given payments every month. So that
food stamps, all
so
of that, all of
so
that.
even with
That's
not for our government to allow 9 months to go past and finally throw out a $600 check and then to let 3 more months or whatever, however long it's going to take to get the other 1,400 out, It's still a slap in the face when you think
It
about it.
really is.
They
It
treat us
really
like
is.
a side chick.
Like, here,
For real.
Here, shut up for real.
On Valentine's Day.
here, go get you something.
And don't say that to me for the rest of the year.
I know
Yeah.
they trying to see us on February 15th.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, but
But
anywho,
more money in the grand scheme of things, real money's not gonna save this country.
No,
It's not.
no, because I think as far as like even with when it comes to wages and stuff like that, we're just now getting to a point where we got a president talking about we're gonna raise minimum wage to like $15.
$15. Yeah.
It's been
it's
at
like
like
that's crazy.
$7 and something for how long?
Since I
Forever.
can remember.
That is so sad.
But goods and services are not getting cheaper.
Not at all. That's what
So
I'm saying. They start pushing this money out. That milk is gonna be at $7 a gallon.
and then what about us whose incomes equal out to above $15 an hour? Once you raise the minimum wage to 15 an hour, where does that put us?
Nah,
Nowhere.
I
They're gonna
seen it
be
in that.
like,
That puts us in an office fight. Cause let a bitch come in and I done been here all this fucking time and she's right on my ass and this is her first year and I done been here 20 years. It's gonna cause an office fight.
it,
Period.
it happened with the healthcare field. Certain offices they made their minimum wage in healthcare. Like I want to say they made it 15 already for certain ones, but there were certain people in the office not making that much. So it was weird. Like people had lesser jobs, but was making more than the people that was actually doing significant jobs in the health
mm-hmm,
with this certain company. So I
mm-hmm.
mean, it actually happened. So Kenya's right on
Yeah.
that. It's just gonna
Yes.
make wage war within the workplace.
I
And
Yes.
mean,
then,
I've seen it happening before the pandemic, and there were people,
Mm-hmm.
disgruntled at work because they had been there X amount of years, but then these newbies fresh out of school, they starting to hire them in at rates that are higher, in some instances higher than the person who had tenure. Meanwhile, we get in these small percentage raises each year, and
They
you
nickel and
bring
dime you to death. Like
to
yep,
they
that.
walk. Here's your 9 cents.
it's
Have a
like
good year.
back in
They
your
don't even
face.
say thank you. Here's your 9 cents. Like you're supposed to do cartwheels out that motherfucker. Like I'll knock all of this shit off this desk in here.
That's how you feel, like straight
That's
up.
how you feel. But
Mhm.
you know, as a civilized adult who has responsibilities, I can't do that. Like you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
yeah, let somebody come in making $15 an hour. And I don't get no like it's a problem. She better not never say what her starting rate is around
Oh,
me
she
because it's a
will.
problem.
Oh, she will.
Yeah, for sure. I know. That's why I mean it's happened. It's
Mhm.
happened. Needless to say, that coworker, she didn't last too long because it was a problem.
But even like with them wage with them raising minimum wage, it's going to hurt the job field too. Less people will get hired. Um, as far as healthcare, they'll try to get you out of there or raise healthcare prices. So like the premiums and things will be higher.
It's all a chain reaction with the
It
bullshit.
is.
But
Mhm.
Because you
I
think the
didn't think,
companies ain't gonna dish out monies. They're just gonna cut from one part of the company to bring the money over to that part.
but that's really sad though, because how do you expect somebody to take care of anything with $7.25 an hour? Like that's just crazy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't even make no sense after all these years. All these years.
Well, when the value of products increase, there always should be a change of wages, and that's the problem. We
Mhm.
always get frozen with the change of wages, and while products and everything, you know what I mean, adjust towards the value of the dollar bill. The workplace doesn't. and
No,
that's where
they,
the problem comes.
and even goods and services don't even adjust. It just seems like they constantly inching up, inching up, inching up.
And
Yeah,
maybe if people got paid a decent wage, then they wouldn't know how to manage their money better. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They would know how to do better because they are comfortable in their living wage that they're making already. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't have to be like, I'm never going to see $1,400 at one time, so let me go buy this Jordans, and you know what I mean? Like, maybe they'll
yeah,
be, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? They won't be struggling or.
yeah. That's all it is. Um, Knowledge creates financial freedom, but we never learned it from anybody. So
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
we're like learning on the fly. That's the tough thing.
as we go, as we go, as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But that would help a lot of things out. But like if I'm a company though too, the morals of some of these companies are like terrible. You know,
Mm-hmm.
companies know what's right and what's right and what's wrong and what's wrong. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gotta call some of these $1 billion brands out, but they know they shouldn't be paying their employers um $7 an hour, $8 an hour for the type
Mm,
of thing they gotta go through.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm.
But you know what?
And,
Oh, another thing I wanted to mention too is that there is this preacher that I really liked one of his sermons, but he you could consider him a prosperity preacher, but he preaches from a standpoint of financial freedom, and he made a really good point of how even churches will put a whole bunch of emphasis on their members to make sure you're tithing regularly, but meanwhile you're not teaching them anything about budgeting and getting themselves financially free,
mm-hmm,
and how
Yeah,
to
mm-hmm,
pay down their debt, because the Lord wants a cheerful giver. But if you're
mm-hmm,
nickel and diming and living from paycheck to paycheck and don't know how you're gonna pay your bill, them tithes might not be a cheerful give. And
yeah.
mm-hmm.
especially
You
if
will
you're
be
giving them
disgruntled
tithes
while you
and
giving
you
it.
you feeling anxiety about, oh, is my electric or my gas gonna be too
Yeah.
high?
Now I can't go to church this Sunday, Pastor Wilson, because I don't have the 40. I don't got it. So I ain't coming to church. How about that?
Mm. So it's so I
That's
mean,
it.
but
But
but,
that's
but I thought that
that's crazy.
this person who preached this message, I was like, boom, there it is right there. That is like,
Mm-hmm.
I really think it would be a good idea if a lot of churches went down the path of getting their members to get to a point of at least budgeting and financial freedom in that way and managing their money better. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of went in the left field, but I was thinking that
Right. Yeah.
everybody wants you to heal. Everybody say, "Oh, you need to heal yourself." You hear people talking about healing, but don't nobody want to tell you how.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's the one thing too that we do as Black people, um, or just people in the inner cities. Um, if you start knowing something or a formula how to do something, you don't normally pass it on. It's almost like you keep it a secret, and that's where like we go wrong. Like if you
I
got,
can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
we need to look at it as lifting people up, not as competition.
Each one teach one.
No,
Mm-hmm.
but they those type of people want to feel some type of superior to
Yeah, they
other
can put
people,
themselves up.
and
Yeah,
they always want to feel like they got one up, or you know what I mean, like some shit like that. Like that's crazy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's crazy.
It is crazy to have that mindset. Because to me, I mean, if I was able to get free from any type of situation, whether it be financial or mental or whatever it is, I'm gonna tell the next one how I did it and encourage them to do so.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and tell somebody else too, because I want everybody to feel like I'm feeling. I feel like we should all. I say that
Yeah,
the same thing about love. Like if you, I love black love. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I got a formula, if I can help something in your relationship, I'm going to share that shit. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Because I want everybody to experience the good shit. Like, Why step on somebody or keep them down? Like that shit is crazy to me. But
everybody can eat.
that's just, yeah, everybody can eat. Everybody, you should want everybody to eat, because as long as everybody eating, you
Yeah.
eating, you gonna eat more.
But
Yeah.
that's why there's people think that there's a limited amount of food at the table for some weird reason.
Mm-hmm. It's 2021. We not settling for scraps.
No,
Forget that. We not settling for scraps.
we're not settling for scraps. We're not settling for people thinking that they could do whatever the hell they want to you. When shit's wrong, speak the fuck up about it. Whether it's in the workplace, schools, just in the community, period. Like, you know what I mean? Because people do wrong shit all the time and think that they could get away with that shit, or just like let it slide. That's why I'm adamant about not letting Trump slide. No, people been sliding for years. Like, fuck that. That's why it's a problem now. It needs to stop somewhere. It has to stop somewhere.
And that goes for relationships too. In the words of Love Dorsey, if you don't like the way that person treating you, move around.
Yeah.
Let them, they're gonna have to miss you. They're gonna have to miss this blessing, honey. Move around. I ain't got time.
It's not